So all of you, a very warm welcome from Cranes Varsity for this Power BI webinar on advanced data modeling in Power BI. So we have Mrs. Bhavani today with us, who is our subject matter expert for Python, data science, Power BI related skills. And we have had a overwhelming response for this particular webinar where we had good number of registrations and we see people are keen to participate, and we want to keep this session very interactive, so we request all of you to be actively participating and throwing up your questions or queries in the chat box so that the trainer can get back to you frequently, or you can get back to her, or you can check with her during your Q&A session at the end. Both are welcome. So give trainer a little time if she is occupied in the session and if she has not seen your chat box, and definitely she'll come back to you. Just give her some time. And let's know Mrs. Bhavani, by her profile. I'm just sharing some details with you so that you know your presenter or trainer for the day. Yeah, so she comes with 7+ years of experience in delivering data science, Python, and advanced Python MLDL concepts. And all these trainings she has delivered to both corporate as well as major universities pan India. And she has been working with Cranes for more than 7+ years, and we have seen her, upskilling herself and delivering quality sessions to our corporate clients as well as working professionals. So her skills, basically, she has been extensively been working as well as delivering on Pandas, NumPy, MATLAB, MATPAT, Lib, as well as on Power BI and Tableau tools, and also she has a good amount of knowledge on AI, NLP, and basics of agentic AI. And she has delivered these clients and universities pan India multiple batches, and she has got a wonderful feedback from the participants throughout till date. So I welcome Mrs. Bhavani for this session, and I'm sure you're all going to have a wonderful session with her. And I request you to be active and share your queries whenever it is required, or raise your hand so that the trainer can come back to you if you have a query in the middle of the session. Okay, so I think it's good to go. And about Cranes, as all of you know, it has been 25 years of EdTech, and we have the legacy of training and placements. And we have been working with corporates as well as with universities for reskilling and upskilling training programs, as well as we have been offering placement assistance to graduates as well as undergraduates. When it comes to corporate, we have been catering to a lot of corporates at PSU and DRDOs pan India for various training programs, whether it is programming or it is embedded, automotive, VLSI, IoT, data science, AML related programs, and also with respect to some of automation or testing, full stack. So all these profiles also we have been working on extensively with corporates for customized training programs of 5 days to 10 days, or even the hiring or induction programs or boot camp programs for 1 to 2 months when you have a new hiring team, or when you have a new team who are being hired for your company. So do let us know if you have any training requirements with us. So we'll be happy to work with you and support you extensively. And at the end of the session, you will have a feedback form. Please do fill that, because only through that data we are going to send across your certificates. Automatically, it will reach you over your registered email ID. So please ensure that you are mentioning your name and email ID and contact details properly, so that we can share the certificates with you. Maybe it will reach out in a day or two after you fill your feedback form. And we welcome you again. And Bhavani, over to you. And if you have any queries, please feel free to connect back with the trainer over the chat box so that we have an interactive session. So have a nice session and have a good day. Thank you, guys. Thank you all.
So, good evening, and all present here. Hope my screen is visible to all. Okay. Okay, let's start today's Power BI session. So, like like once we start, let's know about agenda of our Power BI seminar like session today. So like once we are like get into a Power BI module, so this topic like data modeling and Microsoft Fabric is nowadays very trending topic that is going on in Power BI. So analysis tool, so we call this Power BI as an analyzing tool, but this is not new to us. Like decades before, we start from an Excel where we call that Excel as an analyzing tool. So from Excel, we have been like lot of growths are there, and here we are there with Power BI. So in Power BI, apart from visualization, what else more we can learn? So data modeling is one of the new, like we have it from the beginning, but now how can you use this data modeling to enrich your reports, to enrich your business intelligence, how you can improvise your business intelligence? So that can be fine tuned using a data modeling. And there is something called as Microsoft Fabric also, so that is providing you a one particular place for all of these. Okay, so in today's session, what you are going to learn is, we're going to learn about data modeling. What are the key components of the data modeling? What are the different schemas we have in data modeling, and how we are going to represent that in our Power BI desktop? And we are going to learn about the basics and overview of the Microsoft Fabric, how Microsoft Fabric has been integrated with Power BI, and how it is being useful in the organizations. So how it is helpful in delivering a business reports or business intelligence, how it is very helpful, we are going to see. So this is our today's agenda. Okay, so let's start our session. So before moving about data modeling, I wanted to just tell you about why Power BI is important in 2026, why you wanted to integrate this Power BI into your organization, how it is going to helpful to improvise your business. So first we will see what are the roles of a Power BI, and then we'll get into a data modeling, need of data modeling, and what are the different components you have in data modeling, and then start schema, and we'll go on like that. Okay, so first of all, what is the Power BI role? So in a unified language of BI, that too in the fragmented world, like we have lots of data silos here and there, which means, for example, let us consider a like MNCs like Walmart or an Infosys, where we have a lots and lots of data are there. So it's more than like we have many, like you cannot like terabytes of data, or more than that, we have lots of data present in our cloud. But what happens is those data are not being accessible by everyone in the organization. So it is only organ like it is only like what I can say, it is only accessible by one particular team. The data cannot be accessed by all other team. So what happens here is, okay, now data silos happens. So it is access of a particular data to one particular team, not everybody can access. So what happens is the data gets untouched by some of the departments. So what happens is the companies are just shifting. So some of the companies are using SaaS platforms, some use IoT platforms, some use IoT sensors also. All are being shifting towards some term called as AI. So now we know the AI is more demanding technology in the market. So even Power BI is coping up with that AI technology. And what happens is conversion of a particular, like from transformation of SaaS platforms, IoT platforms, all these, they are shifting that particular platform to an AI. So what happens here? Conflict is happening between the data, okay, and whatever the platforms they are using. So this is one of the, what you can say, problem that real time that organizations are facing. Now in this is our problem. So how we are going to give a solution using this Power BI is that, so you can see here the Power BI is acting as a strategic aggregator layer. So this is acting as a aggregate layer, which means it can connect 300 plus connectors, okay, like different resources. I can connect it from Azure platform, Google Cloud platform, a CSV file or one lake file. So I can just connect it from the different layers, okay, and even I can integrate with a particular like microfabric. We will see what is microfabric in our upcoming slides. Okay, so we can have the deep integration with Microsoft Fabric also. So I can take all of this in one single pane of glass. Okay, so all that Power BI connects all of these in one single glass. So this executes the demand that is present in the current market. So that is why a role of Power BI is important. So this is one of the problem we have taken. And let us take one of the trend. So what is the current trend that is going in the market? So now everybody knows, in each and every company, starting from the startup companies to MNC companies, they are introducing generative AI, deep learning models, machine learning models into their platform. So what happens is that when they are using this particular generative models and machine learning models, they are trying to embed it into their platforms. So this is one of the trend happening in all the industries now. According to the trend, what is the role of Power BI here? So like last slide, we have taken a problem and we have taken a solution for that. So in this particular slide, what we are going to do is we have taken a trend. So the trend is the generative AI, deep learning model, all these are trending models. Now how Power BI plays the role in this particular AI, let's see that. Okay, so the Power BI is used as a consumption layer here, consumption layer. So what happens is Power BI is giving us an opportunity to interact or to integrate with OpenAI, Copilot, and what you can say, like Copilot is used for storytelling, or if you want to convert your complex data modules into actionable dashboards. So all of these are possible using a Power BI role. So what happens is once your data is there, all your data can be converted into an actionable dashboards. Okay, for example, or it can summarize the data. For example, what happens is whenever we are using an AI, so AI will help us in finding the insights. What are the insights that we have? So that insights we can give it to a business analyst. So the business analyst, what a business analyst can do is that, so business analyst can take a decision what a business should do. Okay, AI will find its insights and give it to us. And as a business analyst, what we have to do, we have to find, or we have to fine tune the insights according to our business and enhance our business. So this is one of the trend happening in our Power BI. So this is one of the thing. And now next we'll go for the need of Power BI. Okay, so real-time intelligence, decision intelligence in volatile economy. So what does this mean is that there is a need. Okay, so this era of what you can call a supply chain disruption is there. So the people or consumers keep on shifting their behaviors. Okay, like for example, managers, every time the managers needs monthly reports or they need a weekly reports, what happens, it is difficult for a particular it might be a data analyst or a business analyst to give their monthly reports. So sometimes what happens, the monthly reports are not seen by the managers or stakeholders, whoever it is. So what happens here, nowadays they don't need the monthly reports. Instead of that, they need an operational intelligence. Instead of reports, they need an operation intelligence, where this Power BI is having options that you can take it from a direct query. You can write your SQL query. You can integrate with the hybrid tables. Okay, and live data sets you can take it. It will create a Power BI enables a platform where it will allows a dynamic resource allocation, like it is going to give us a proper storage, memory, all of that Power BI will be able to provide us. So that whenever it is providing us a dynamic resource allocation, what happens is we can easily fine tune the opportunities what we have, and proactive management can also be increased with this, and moreover business opportunities also will increase in terms of this. So that is why we need this Power BI for making a real time decisions. Apart from these things, the Power BI are very much needful in terms of governance, in terms of security and all. They have increased much, like comparing to before. So before we don't have much security in Power BI, but now they with the help of AI integration, microfabric integration, they have increased the security levels also of the particular dashboards also, they have been increased. Okay, so these are the like what you can say, this is a need of Power BI in the current trend. So we have seen a problem, we have taken one problem and seen a solution for it, and we have also taken one of the trending technology AI, and we have seen, and the need is of due to the supply chain also, how Power BI works we have seen. So these are the need of Power BI. So now let's get into why. So our next topic is need of data modeling, non-negotiable need of data modeling. So what happens is in the current scenario, like whenever a Power BI BI analyst or a data analyst, those who wants to learn Power BI. So what people think in the surface level is just I can learn about graphs that is present, like visualization present in Power BI, and I can know to connect with the different resources, like I will take a file from the CSV, Excel, SQL, Python. From the different resources I can take a files, and I can integrate with the Power BI, and I can just create a visualization, reports, dashboards, like if they have a service account, so they are able to create a dashboard. So all of this I can do it, and they say that we know Power BI, but that's not the true. The Power BI, the real star, like if you want to know about Power BI, so first thing you have to know about extraction, transformation, and loading. So ETL, you know about that. So you have to know about ETL process. Then you should be knowing about the DAX functions and time intelligence. All of that you should be knowing. Then comes the data modeling and how you can deal with all of this. Whatever you have done, ETL, then data modeling, storing the data, how you are going to manage all of this in the Power BI. So that is very very important. Managing the pipelines. Creating a data modeling, all of these, how we are going to manage these in one single plate. That is where a business analyst stand. So we have to know how to deal with all of these in a single plate. So that is how like we differ. Okay, so first let us see what is the need of modeling. Okay, whenever we talk about data modeling, there is something called a single source of truth. Okay, what is the problem? So whenever we are building, let us consider that I'm going to create a report. So with the help of a certain sales report I have, whatever I have, we will be just creating a model. Okay, okay, let's say that I'm not creating. So first we will see, without a data modeling, if I'm going to create any visuals, what happens. First let us see that, and then I will tell you about the importance of data modeling. If you don't have modeling, let us consider that we don't have a this data modeling. Without data modeling, if you are going to create a charts, okay, it might what happens is you are creating a table. Let us consider you are creating a table or a bar chart, whatever it is. So in your report, whenever you are doing a calculation, let us say total sales, you wanted to calculate the total sales. Okay, you are using a different logic, and with the same report your colleague is also calculating a total sales. So what happens, you will get one number and your colleague will get a different number. So there will be a mismatching in the numbers. Okay, you are using the same data set, you are using the same column name. Okay, but you will get a different results. Why? Because we don't have a modeling here. So your data will, your whatever you are getting, the numbers in the dashboard will lead to the conflicts. It will not be same. So erosion of our trust will happen. So it is always better to use a modeling. If you have a modeling, then what happens is that we will not have, okay, whenever you create a well defined model, okay, we will see how to create it. So whenever we create a well defined model, it is going to have one centralized business logic. It is going to have one, follow one certain business logic over here. And whenever, like, many peoples are using a same data set, you will get the same results. Okay, so the guaranteed consistency will be there across your organization. Okay, so you and your colleague are going to perform on the same column, and you are going to get the same results. You will not have a different results. So that is when you will be using a data modeling. So data modeling will create a centralized business logic for us, okay, so that we will get a consistency in the answer. So next thing is about, we are going to unlock the power of what is that, DAX and time intelligence. So without doing data modeling, what happens when we have this DAX function and intelligence? Let's say I'm going to create many measures, many tables, all of that we are going to do it. I'm going to just create some tables and dump it into it. Now no relationships are there. So if no relationships are there, what happens is we cannot able to answer. So whenever we are presenting our data to our client stakeholders, we are unable to answer them. For example, they will be asking what are the sales compared to the last year. So with the same month, okay, from June to July, what was the sales happening in the last year? So if we don't have data modeling, we could not answer all of these. Okay, what is a total product that is being sold during the last year? So they might ask you different questions, but we will not be able to answer because we are not creating any data modeling with that. So what we have done, we have just created one measures, we have created a calculated tables, and we have created things, but we have not connected it properly. The dots are not connected properly, so we will not able to answer it. So in this particular case, what we have to do is, whenever you are implementing this particular DAX function and time intelligence, what we have to do is that we have to give importance to these calculated measures and even the calculated columns and connected to our data model. So like there are many schemas available. So using this schemas, we are going to connect it with one table with another table, so that our raw data, whatever we have, it will be converted into an insights. So that is what we will be doing it for the DAX and time intelligence. Next, performance under time model. Okay, so it helps us once you implement your data modeling into your reports or dashboards. It helps us, you can get a quick answers. So how, like, I'll give you a simple analogy. Okay, let us consider that you have a pile of books. Okay, like a lot of books, you have a pile of books you have, and I wanted to get some physics books or science books from that pile of books. So now what happens, we are not known to it where we are having that physics book or where we have that mathematics books. We are unaware of it because the data are not structured, the books are not arranged properly, the information is chaotic. So we are not able to fetch that particular maths and science books. What happens? Okay, the search of that becomes very slow because it is unstructured, lying here and there. So I cannot get it properly, and the time consumptions is very high. But when you apply the same thing, when you apply data modeling here, which means data modeling means you have a library. When you go to a library, what happens? The books are arranged, they have some reference number for this For example, you have certain kind of different things you have, so you have a reference number. So now when I ask you to get a physics books and maths book, what happens? You know the reference number, the data is structured over there, so you can go and just get it very easily, so anyone can find very accurately and quickly. So that is how the data modeling is also there. If you don't do data modeling, each one of you, like in your team, let's say all of you are in one team in an organization, and you are being provided with the data sets. If you don't apply data modeling, what happens is your colleague will get one answer, you will be getting another answer, the other team member will get another answer, and you will not able to finish up the task what your manager has given. You will not able to complete it because you have not applied data modeling there. So that is why you have to apply data modeling and make your relationship between those tables properly. You have to relate it with one another, so that you can gather a quick information and consistency will be there in your information. So when everybody is working on the same data, all will get the accurate answers, and the consistency will remain same. It will never change. Okay. Excuse me. So it will never change. Okay. So that is how the performance and speed reflects the data modeling. And business intelligence. Okay. So like if I want to use a business intelligence, okay, so like I have to follow certain hierarchies um in a particular report, so that it will increase the relationship between the like stakeholders or business people, whoever it is. Okay. You can able to deal the complex datas. Okay. Like whenever, let's say that I'm using some complex data, so using a Power BI, if you are along with Power BI reports, if you are implementing this data modeling, so the confusion will not occur. So whenever you are storytelling to another stakeholders or whoever it is, it avoids the confusion. Okay. So you will able to only create a proper report. You can avoid what confusions, you can avoid incorrect analysis, all of these can be avoided. So more business point of view you can explore, business analysis can be made more. So that is what we call it as a intuitive business user exploration. So these are some of the points where you need the data modeling. So that is why it is very very important to have data modeling into your systems or into your reports. Okay. A good data model should be a well organized, it should be like a library, neatly structured. Okay. And it should follow certain schemas. We have different schemas, so that it should follow certain schema and rules are defined. So what is rules here is you should follow the DAX and time intelligence over here, so that we can get a quick information from that. Okay. Now this is the need of modeling. So everyone are with me? You are able to understand what I'm telling? Till here everybody is able to understand? Can you just say yes in the chat box, or guys, everybody is good to go? Yeah, thank you. Thanks for your reply. Okay. So need of data modeling we have seen. Okay. Next we will be seeing what are the consequences of poor modeling. Okay. So when I say about consequences of poor modeling, if I don't use data modeling, okay, what happens? So you can see direct consequences of poor modeling. So if we are not using this data modeling, what happens is there will be a garbage coming in, going out. So there will be a broken model. So because of this, we are able to get inaccurate metrics. So as I told you, each one of us will get a different answers. We will not get the same answers. Like as I earlier told you, when I want to calculate the sales, you will not get the same answer like what your colleague is getting. Each one of us will be getting the different answers. And then unbearable slowness. What happens is, if you don't have a proper modeling, like everybody would have faced, right? Whenever we are just what you can say, whenever you're importing a model, okay, let's say if I'm going good with 1000 rows or 10,000 rows, 20,000 rows, the Power BI works fine. But what if you increase your data memory, like more capacity of data when you import? What happens? It becomes slow at that particular point of time. If you are using this data modeling, and again you're integrating with Microsoft Fabric, all that issues will be solved. It will be loading very quick. So that is called as unbearable slowness. So if you don't use a proper data modeling, it will make your reports refreshing rate, all of that will become slow. And then what happens if you don't use data modeling? You will not able to answer your new questions, like as I've told you, what happened in the previous year, how much product has been sold, what is the average cost of a particular products, or what is the highest cost that happened in a particular region. So you will not able to answer all of these questions. Okay, so that is what inability to answer new questions. And massive maintenance cost. If you are not using data modeling, every time you have to rework on each and every report. One small change you do it in one particular report, it will not just change it in the all the other reports. You have to do changes in your each and every report. So what happens in turn, it will cost you the maintenance. Okay, that is what we call it as a massive maintenance cost. So these are the four important what you can say terms. If you don't follow a poor modeling, you will end up in having all of these issues. Lot of garbage value comes in and goes out. So creating a dashboard becomes meaningless. So that is why you have to use data modeling over here. Okay, so now we'll come into our actual picture. Okay, what is data modeling? Okay, so data modeling is one of the interesting topics what we have it here. Okay, so what happens is in data modeling, okay, it's a collection of tables. Like I have lots of tables in my um reports or whatever you can say. So you are going to communicate with one another. Okay, let's say I have a country table, I have a product table, I have a sales table. Now I wanted to communicate with these different kinds of tables, and I'm going to relate the table with one another. So that is what we call it as a data modeling. Why we have to do this is, so I have told you what is the need of data modeling, why, what happens if I don't use the data modeling. So all this comes into picture now. Okay, so this is why I have to communicate with one another. Tables, how many tables I have, I'm going to relate the table with one another, so that I can make my business users to understand what I'm going to convey. So we have lot of numbers, or the Power BI is just full of numbers. The way of representing numbers in the graph format, so that is called as Power BI. So I'm going to make it more interactive and more interesting by applying a data models to my reports, so that I will get a good business ideas or good business insights I'm going to get. Okay, so that is why we will be using a data modeling over here. And then um so data modeling is nothing but I'm going to communicate with one another table by creating a relationship. I'm just going to talk with the tables. That is called as data modeling. And why it is important, like already we have discussed. So just overview, just three points I have given, a quick review of those points. We can have a good understanding, better understanding of the data can be made. It can increases the performance and resilience to the change. So whatever changes we make at one point, it get changed to all over. Okay, that is a main points of data modeling. Now we are going to see a history about this. So as I've told you, in this particular era, okay, like Excel, we know this Excel from way behind. So like from past many decades we are learning about an Excel. So Excel is considered as a original BI tool. Like Power BI is like started just now. Before that, what happens? Excel was our original BI tool. So what we were doing, we were just using Excel just for analyzing or for just report creations and all. So after that, what happens? There is, as the data is growing, what happens? Power Pivot comes into picture, like V table. Okay, Power View for a basic visualization, maps for Power Map. There is something called as Power Map where you can create your visuals, all of that. And Data Explorer also is there. So Data Explorer only now it is renamed as, you can see here, in Excel we call them as a Data Explorer, but in Power BI we call it as a Power Query. Okay, all of these tools were being separated in Excel, but in Power BI everything is connected together. Whatever we have seen in the Excel, this Power View, Power Map, Data Explorer, all these are combined into a Power BI. So all that struggles what we Excel. So what are the struggles we faced in the Excel, like large data, complex models, performance, governance, all of these issues we faced in an Excel. But in Power BI, it's not like that. We are overcoming all of these things in in the particular Power BI model. Okay, so we are enabling the relationship between the tables. We are able to calculate the DAX function, time intelligence. We can able to make up a memory analysis. All of this we can make it. And in Excel, what are the other disadvantages? We had some flat reports, all of these we had. Okay, database cannot be connected, like SQL and all, we cannot able to connect it. So calculations was a little difficult. Okay, all of these was there, but in Power BI, it's nothing. Like we have analysis services. Okay, we can do fast aggregation things and all. We can do n number of rows. If you want to have millions of data, millions of rows, yes, my Power BI can handle it. Okay, so all the reason because I can do everything in Power BI instantly, I can do it. It's not like that. Whatever we do it in the Excel. So it's all of these are combined together to have a very good business intelligence tool combined with an AI. So I can have analysis services, very practice for the performance. All of this combined together, it is forming our Power BI. So that is why it's one of the most important. We can use it for data cleaning, shaping the data, combining the resources. All of these I can do it in Power BI. Okay, so this is a little story like how Power BI came. Okay, let's compare this with the SQL. Like what in Excel, what was not there, I could not connect with the database, but here I can connect with the database. So SQL is for data management, like you guys know it, right? But here, without knowing SQL also, you can have or you can build your analytics model. Without the DBA skills also, you can able to do much more things in Power BI. Okay, so your data has to be structured, stored, organized, well mannered. All these should be there. But here, this in Power BI, it helps us to build an analytical models. Okay, and it will be help us in providing what a relationship between the data, one particular table to another table, and it easily helps us to aggregate certain columns, and I can apply filters easily in the Power BI. So this is how we can compare with um, Power BI and SQL. Okay, so just we are seeing a comparison, and once we are relating that Power BI and SQL over here, what happens is how we are going to integrate the data, how we are going to extract the data, transformation of the data. All of these we can see it here. So Excel, you can just take from the different spreadsheet and keep it in one particular database, and you can access it. Data extraction, you can connect it, even SQL can be connected in Power BI, and you can use this Power Query editor. All of this you can do it. Okay, so relationship, so we are going to see about relationships also, how you can do cross filtering, all of that. Okay, So characteristics of good model. So once we design a model, so how a good model should look like. A good model, we should quickly able to go through the data, we should have a filtering option, drill down option, all of this should be provided. So it should give the quick information about a particular data. So that is one of the main characteristics of the data modeling. And it should be able to perform whenever we have a large data set, it should able to do a aggregation with it. If you apply filtering, if you don't apply filtering, it should able to work on the larger data set. Aggregations must be simplified. So that is one of the characteristics. And then data accuracy. So what does data accuracy means? Like as I told you, when we are building a data modeling, each one of us who is working under our team should be able to give accurate answers. So when they make some transformations or when they calculate something, that should be able to do it very properly. So that is called as data accuracy over here. Okay, so these are the characteristics. Now coming to the key components. When we come to the key components, one should, before going into data modeling, a person should be knowing about all of these terms. So a person should be knowing what is table, what is primary key and foreign key, what is cardinality, and what is a cross filtering. So all of this a person should be knowing. So this I'll be giving a quick review, like you guys are already familiar with this, I hope so. So I'll be giving a quick term, like just giving you an example with these pictures over here. So when we talk about data, okay, so like sorry, not about data, tables. So when I talk about tables, a table is like we have some names like customer table, data table, product, sales, transaction is all the tables what we have. And inside table we have some columns called as country, customer ID, customer name, all of this will be there. Okay, this is called as a table. So we have already worked with it. You can import different kinds of tables. So we already worked with the tables. And the second thing is a primary key and the foreign key. So whenever we talk about a primary key, we all know that it should be unique, and foreign key will be related with those like whenever we talk about those things, it is one a foreign key will be in a particular column which can refer to the product or sales, whatever it is. So that will be taking a reference as a primary key. So this will helpful. This is basically helpful in linking, and it will what you can say. It will enforce the data integrity. For this purposes, we should be knowing about the term called as primary key and the foreign key. So once that is done, we should be knowing about a relationship. So in this relationship, we have two types. One is active relationship and one is a inactive relationship. So those like active relationship is like you can see in this power like picture what I have given here. So in the first one where I have written it as an active. So active relationship is nothing but where you can filter the data between the two table. So here I have a table called as calendar, order, people, and returns. These are my tables. And in that particular, now we are going to consider only the calendar table and only the order table. So in the calendar table and the order table, you can see a relationship going on. I'll just tell you that later. So I can able to filter out the calendar column. Sorry. I can able to filter out the calendar column, and I can able to filter out the order column. So that is where you can create a relationship between these two tables. Okay, so it is called as an active relationship. What do you mean by inactive relationship? I'm not using a filter data. I'm not used a filtering over that particular tables. So that is called as inactive relationship. So if you want to activate in like inactive relationship, how you can do it is in DAX function you have something called as user relationship. With that you can basically make a particular relationship inactive. If you don't want that, basically I don't want to delete a particular relationship, but I don't want to make it like I don't want to use any filtering data on top of that at this particular point of time. I can use inactive relationship. So this is about relationship. So we have seen about tables, we have seen about foreign key and primary key, like very basics we have seen, and the active relationship. In that relationship, we have something called as active and inactive. Coming back to the cardinality, so whenever we have, so this you should understand this properly. So I have a different tables. Okay, so the different tables here is product table I have, customer table I have a calendar table, and I have a sales transactions I have, and I have a salesperson. There is a line you can see, that is, you can just consider them as a thread. So I am using a thread to connect between the two tables, like product table and sales transaction table, customer table and transaction table, salesperson table, and this calendar with this. So I'm going to relate this one another using a thread. So that line, whatever we draw, is called as a relationship. And there is some direction going on. You can see the black arrow mark. That direction is called as a relationship direction. And the cardinality, what we have here is called as a cardinality, which means that the arrow mark, that one, the star mark we have, right? That star mark and one. So these are called as cardinality. So this thread, whatever we have used to link one table with another table, is called as relationship. And the arrow mark, what we have it in the black one, it is called as a relationship direction. And this one and star indicates the cardinality. So cardinality means you can come back to the second diagram, right side diagram. So here you have a cardinality called as one to one cardinality, one to many cardinality, and many to one cardinality is also there, and this is many to many cardinality. So what is that one to one cardinality is? So this one product is being linked with the other column or a product in that particular column. So that is called as one to one relationship. But this one to many is, I have one particular column and it is being linked to the different products. Excuse me. So this is a one to many, and many to one is like it's a inverse of this. And here also many things, like many things I have here. So both are connected. So from here you can see subject 3 to student 1, student 2 and all is there. And then we have from here subject student 8 is also connected to subject 6, 7, 8. So this is the many to many. So from here many things is also connected. From this particular table it has been connected to many things. So this is called as a cardinality. So these are the terminologies or important building blocks of the. So I'll just we'll just go back to the slides here. So these are the important building blocks of the data modeling: tables, foreign key, cross filtering, primary keys, and the cardinality. Okay. So next, coming back to this particular cross filtering is also available. So cross filtering is nothing but I have these things. If it is one direction, okay, cross filtering means it is a single side. It allows the relationship in a single direction. Here what happens, in the both the side, it's allowing a relationship, or you can apply the filtering for the both the sides. Okay, so the arrow mark is going this side also and this side also. So I can apply or filter or connect the data between these two things, apply filter on both of these columns. But here it is not. I can only apply to this particular column. Okay, I cannot apply to this. Okay, so these are the things. Apart from this, before going into schema, next thing is schema, and I'll show you. I'm going to show you an what you can say, an online what you can say, like I'm going to show you one demo also. Okay, so here what happens is, we are going to know about a facts and what is facts and what is dimensions. So these two things are very important. Okay, cross filter detection. So in this, what we understood is single direction. If I'm going to have it in the this particular table, I'm going to apply the filter in one direction. If it is in the both direction, means I'm going to apply it in the both the directions. Okay, so that is what that is where we have been doing all of this. So now what happens is, I'm going to teach you about two things. One, first you have to understand what is fact table, and you have to understand what is dimension. First is fact, and other one is dimension. Whenever you are telling about a fact table, so let us consider here only. So here you can see in the cross filtering deduction only, you have something called as dimension product, and you have a fact internet sales. So fact table, whenever you are building a data modeling, these two things you should never forget. What is fact table? What is dimensional table? Because it is very, very important. When you want to understand about data modeling, this is very important. So in the fact table, there will be no actual data will be present. It will be always pointing to the other table or other records, like what is the product sold by a particular salesperson, what is the shipping that happened for a particular product. So all of these. But dimension table is like it will be explaining about the dimension of a particular data. So product, what is the product sold from a particular area. Okay, if you have a calendar, all of these can be happening. Okay, so now let us understand about star schema. So one of the we have in the data modeling, we have different schemas. One is a star schema, one is a waterfall schema, and one more is snowflake schema. So starflake schema is, so I have told you, it is an important thing. So fact table and dimension table, you should be knowing about these things. So that's why I have given you just an overview, what is a fact table and what is a dimension table. So why it is called as a star schema is that in central, okay, in center we have something called as fact table, and with this fact table all the dimensional table will be connected. So it will be looking like a shape of a star. So that is why they have given this name as a star schema. So a dimension table is connected to a fact table. Here also another table is connected. So that is all called as dimension table. It can be a product, all of these can be there. So a star schema is nothing but it is a centralized table will be there. That centralized table we are going to call them as a fact table, and that will be connected to the multiple dimension tables. When you see it, so the diagram you can see it is just looking like a star, and this is very simple way of organizing your data. And when you apply it in your Power BI, what happens is it will increase your performance consistency. It's easy to maintain, and you will be having a good data model. So this is how a star schema looks like. Okay, so I'll show you one hands on. Okay, so how like a very easy way of understanding the star schema, not the like large databases and all. We'll take a simple data set and I'll show you how to connect it. Okay, so now I'm just opening my Power BI. It's a Power BI desktop. I'm going to let's take a blank report, and I'm going to use this get data. I think you guys all know about this. Okay, I'm going to just use this and just take a sample data over here. I have taken this data. Okay, so now let's see how to load these data. So I have a different tables over here. Okay, so these are the tables and these are the sheets that is present in an Excel. As of now, I don't want any sheets. I'm going to just take about tables only. So data modeling requires tables. If you want that, you can just load it. But I'm going to concentrate only on these tables. So there are 5 tables over here. Okay, so calendar table I have, location table I have, people table I have, products I have, shipments are there. Okay, so these are the different tables I have. So usually how we are going to do, you will transform the data and then load it. But here, as I'm going to show you only about the data modeling, I'm going to just directly load the data. But processes, you have to transform the data and load it. For me, the data looks fine. And our today topic is only on data modeling. So we are going to concentrate only on that. So I'll just load the data. So I'm just loading the particular table data. Okay, so to your left side, until it loads, I'll just tell you here I have towards your left side, so you can see my screen. So we have something called as a report view. Okay. So this is a visualization report view, and these are the table view, model view, and now they have applied these two things, new things like DAX and like M language query. That also they have been applied. So it's all the rows are being loading here. So you can see different tables like calendar. All these are loaded, and that will be reflected in your data pan. Just look at the right side of my screen. You have a calendar table, you have a location table, people, products, all shipments. So all these are called as a table. So that is one of the key component when we start, like when we have just gone through our previous slides. So I told you tables plays a key, like it plays a vital role in data modeling. So once I click on this, okay, you can see these are the columns present in that cal data, month, month name, weekend, all these are the column names. Now in the report view, I'm not going to create any report as of now. We'll come to the data view, and you can see the cal data. Okay, so it is a calendar based on date, month, all of these are there. Then if you go to location, it is basically small locations. We have India, US, Canada, New Zealand, Australia, and UK. Coming back to the people, we have salesperson who has sell what, like a chocolate. It's basically a chocolate data set. So all of the details are given here. And then coming back to the products, you can see the name of the product: milk bars, 50% of dark bites, almond choco, raspberry choco. So it's basically a chocolate data set, and what it belongs to, bars or bites, whatever it is, cost per box, and what is the product ID. Okay, so first you have to go through about your data set. That is important in Power BI, or not only in Power BI, in any analytics. So this is one of the main thing that we have to do it. So that's why I'm just giving you overview of all the tables what we have. Then we have a table name called a shipment, which is having a shipment ID, shipment product ID, and then product ID, that is geo ID. GID is nothing but geo ID, shipment date, what is the amount that has been happened in that particular shipment, how many boxes it has been delivered, and what is the status of that particular order, whether it's delivered, not delivered, or still in the pending, or transit, whatever it is. So these are the details about the what data set. Now in the report view, we are not going to create any reports. Okay, in the table view, this is what we have seen. Coming back to our important topic, that is called as data modeling. How we are going to do data modeling here? So I'll show you this thing. Okay, you can see already, because as we have many tables like calendar, location, people, products, and shipment. Okay, so each of that is interrelated with that. Now which is important? A shipment, like I'm going to arrange it. Okay, I'm going to arrange it properly. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. Okay, so this shipment table is considered as a fact table. People is considered as a dimension table. Location is also considered as a dimension table. Products is also considered as a what? A dimension table. Okay, now how I'm going to relate it, how I'm going to create a relationship. Now there is another dimension table called as calendar, but that is not linked to our fact table. Okay, so here it is not linked. Now I'm going to create a relationship between the shipment table, that is a fact table, and I'm going to create a relationship with the calendar table. How to do that, we will see. So it should be based on the primary key and the foreign key. So here I have a shipment date, and here I have a cal date. So based on both of these, I'm going to create a relationship between these two tables. So what I can do, it is very easy to create manually. If you want to create manually, this is how we do it. So from the shipment date, you're going to drag it and just simply drop it over here. Okay, Once you simply drop it over here, you can see from which table. So you are going to create a new relationship. You can see here, it's a new relationship. Select the table and the columns that are related. So it's already highlighted. As I've just drag and dropped, it is already highlighted. So how we are going to relate it? With the shipment date and the calculated date, you are going to relate the pack table and the dimension table. So from this shipment table, I'm going to use a column called a ship date, and I'm going to connect it. I'm going to give a relationship, or I'm going to communicate with the other table called as calendar to calendar. Okay. So from here, okay, from here, calendar, I'm going to, this is the table name, and this is highlighted. So both the, in the both the tables, the each of the column is being highlighted, which means those two columns are going to communicate. So those two columns are going to create a relationship with one another. So that is what the meaning of this one. And here you can see, as I've told you, the important terminologies cardinality and cross filter detection. That is why in the earlier case only I have explained you what do you mean by cardinality, what do you mean by cross filter detection. So here it is a relationship between many to one. It's not one to many, it's many to one. So it automatically detects. Okay, we need not to do any cardinality. If you want to change it, you can change it, but I'm going to leave it as such as of now. Okay, I don't want like this. This is what I wanted to do. And the cross filtering direction, it is single. So I don't want it to be in a both direction. So automatically it has deducted as single. So we'll have it like that. So if you want to change it, you have to look after all these columns and then have a proper verification and change it. If you're going to simply change your data as you like, you will end up in inconsistency of the data. Accuracy of the data will not be fetched. So be careful while connecting the models or connecting the tables. Okay, now I'm going to save. Okay, once it is saved, so now you can see it's just a 1 minute of work, but in the real time we will be having a lot of data. Okay, so we should be careful in handling the data. As we have a lesser number of data, it's easy for us to create a relationship. Now what I have did, using a particular like a scroll method, like I'm just dragging that and dropping it. So you can see here, if I just keep on this, you can see that which column is being related to one another. So here ship date is being related with the cal data. So this star indicates many and this indicates one. So it is okay here many to one relationship. Okay, and now when I say about people, okay, when I talk about people, so here also you can see, okay, the picture, sales ID, all of this is there. So you can see one, here it is many. So here all it is many to one only. Okay, so here you have many things and it is connected. So you can create all of this. So now this is looking like a star schema. So I have a shipment data, and so the shipment data is considered as a fact table. People is a dimension table, location is a dimension table, products are dimension table, and the calendar is a dimension table. So this is how my star schema looks like. Now, if you want to do a waterfall schema, there is something other schema called as waterfall schema. Like it is similar to waterfall. How the waterfalls from the top to bottom it falls, right? So now here also we are going to create a fact dimension. All the dimension table will be arranged at the top, and the details from the dimension table will be falling into the fact table. So that is how our waterfall model looks like. So I'll just take this and I'm going to arrange it according to our waterfall model. It's arranging and creating a relationship also. Okay, it's not only arranging it, okay, and also creating a relationship between one another. Okay, so this is how I'm just showing how does the waterfall model looks like. Okay, I have not created any relationship here. I have just created a waterfall model. So what happens now, this is my dimension table. All our dimension table should be at the top. Okay, products table, location table, people table, and calendar table. So all of these are like a dimension. So from this dimension, the data is coming and falling into the fact table. So the fact table will be at the bottom. So this is called as a waterfall schema. Okay. So this is called as waterfall schema. And the snowflake schema is also similar. But here it will, so we want a large number of data for that, and large number of tables are needed for it to show a snowflake schema. It is similar to the star, what you can say. It is similar to the star schema. Like how it is different from the star schema, I'll tell you. So star schema is something like this, what we have, right? So we have a fact table over here, and all of the other dimension are being connected with one another, right? So this is called as a star schema. What does, how does the snowflake schema looks like? So here, when this dimension table is connected with the other dimension, this is connected with the other dimension. Many tables are there. Okay. So it is connected like this. I have some data like this. Here I have one data. Here I have one table. Again, it's a dimension table. If I have like this is called as a snowflake schema. Like, the snow, like how we represent snow, similar to that it is there. So that is why they have named it as snowflake schema. So for all of this dimension table, it will be connected to another tables over here. So that is called as a snowflake schema. I'll just show you. We'll go back to a presentation. So this is just a basic way of understanding the star schema, what you call waterfall schema and snow schema. Coming back here. Yeah. So star schema we have already seen, and we here I have even taken an example. So with the gender, okay, with the gender inequality is our table name, and we have a country ID, year, indicator, all of these values are here. And it will be having a single table, will have a center schema, and it will contain all the other dimension tables, all of that it will be having it. So you can see here we have just a representation of a star schema, like what it answers, how it answers and all. So generally this will help us to answer who, what, where, when, how and all in the fact table. And this will also provide us descriptive analysis of a particular data. Okay. So like dimension data, all of that you can just look out this particular slide. So this is a dimension table, and this is a dimension table, and this is a centralized fact table. Okay. So this will be having certain hierarchy following. If you have a date column, it follows the hierarchy such as year, quarter, month, and week. It follows certain hierarchies, right? Similarly, here also in the dimension table, we will follow the hierarchy. So this is about the star schema, and relationship already I have explained it. So the same thing I have put it, some detailed information I have given it in this particular slide. So we are going to establish the relationship between the fact table and the dimension table. So there comes an importance of primary key and the foreign key, which will enable us for slicing, filtering, drill down option, all of this you can do it. So that is where this relationship plays. So that is also one of the key components we have already discussed. And structure, how do we structure it? So there are certain rules. Many rules are there, so I have just given you certain things. Okay, just a overview I have given. But whenever you want to structure a data, it why we have seen what are the need, what are the advantages, all of that we have discussed a lot in our previous slide. So here it has a depending upon that example, we have a dimension table such as indicator, country ID. So each one is having a distinct entity. Okay, that will serve a specific purpose. Okay, so for that particular purpose, okay, for all of these, okay, we should maintain the structure of the particular tables. with appropriate names, giving a proper relationship between the tables. All of that should be maintained properly. Okay. So you can see this is just a diagram of the waterfall model. So here is a sales table I have. With this, all the other things are also related over here. I have given these things. Okay, so this is how waterfall model looks like, and I have just shown you that also. So this is just a representation of waterfall model, and next comes the snowflakes model. So here you can see this is how we represent a snowflake, right? Whenever we want to represent snow, so that is why they have named it as snowflake. So here you have a fact table, you have a dimension table related to all of that, and from that dimension table you will be having a category relating with one another. Okay, it can be one particular call table or many tables. It can also be a sheets. So whatever you want, it will be connected. So this is how the snowflake schema looks like. Okay, so this is how we are doing it with the snowflake schema. And coming back to the next thing is micro fabric. So what does this micro fabric means? So we have now what we have done in Power BI. We have taken what data we have taken, all that we visualization we have done, transformation we have done, then data modeling also we have done. Okay, in desktop you can do all of this. Okay, now in an organization, okay, what happens is I can use Power BI for reporting purpose. If I want to use Azure Synapse, that I will be using for some analytical purpose, like I wanted to do a real time analytics, I will go for that Azure Synapse, or for data engineering kind of things, or data warehousing. I wanted to do all of this. Okay, and then I wanted to use a larger millions of data I wanted to handle. For all of this, I cannot purchase one tool. For ETL one tool, for visualization Power BI tool, for data warehouse one tool, I cannot purchase. What happens? The cost of the all these resources will increase. Okay, that is loss to our organization. So what we are going to do is I'm going to combine this all into one particular platform. That particular platform is called as Microsoft Fabric. Microsoft Fabric will allow us to do reporting. Microsoft Fabric will allow us to do data engineering. Microsoft uh, Fabric will allow us to do data warehousing. Microsoft Fabric will allow us to do real time analytics, and it will also help us in doing an application lifecycle management, and it helps us in providing a larger storage of one particular warehouse, large number of data, unstructured data, structured data, files, tables, whatever different format you want, everything under one platform, that is called as one lake. So combining all these together, Microsoft Fabric is providing you all of these in one particular platform, that we call it as a Microsoft Fabric. And in this Microsoft Fabric, it they give you a 60 days of trial version. Okay, so whenever you wanted to do this Microsoft Fabric, you cannot do it in the desktop version. Like as I've showed you earlier, what I have done, I have opened the Microsoft desktop version, and I have just shown you the taking the data from the Excel sheet, having a basics of modeling, all of that we have seen it. But this Microsoft Fabric is not available in the desktop version, so it is available in the service. Okay, and they give, if you have organizational account, they give you a 60 days of trial period, they give you. Okay, where you can utilize some of the resources free for the 60 days. So in that, Microsoft Fabric is also a free trial. They are giving certain, they don't give you everything for free. this in the trial period, which and all, like certain things they are giving it for the free. Like if you want to do it PySpark, or if you want to do it for this what you can say analytics, real time analytics, application lifecycle, we can call them as ALM, application lifecycle management. If you want to do that, all of this they are giving us for the free. That is for the 60 days trial they are giving. So before going into a Microsoft Fabric account, let me explain you what is about One Lake. So One Lake is a Fabric Lake Center. So here, just give me a moment, 1 minute. Okay, thank you. So here, like One Lake is a place where I'm going to get the structured data, unstructured data, files, folders, everything. I can get it as one place. Even database also, I can get it in one place, and I can integrate that with the Microsoft Fabric. Okay, and I'll show you the. I'll be showing you the demo also. Okay, so here you can see this is just like a entire micro fabric platform where you can do data resource like lake house, data warehouse, structured data, unstructured data. Even if you want a live streaming, that can be done. As we have already spoke about the ML model, DL models, everything can be integrated with it. And ingestion, we have certain rules for ingestion also. Many rules and regulations are there, and how you should have a pipeline data flow about all of this, and how to store it. So custode DB is there, many DBs we can have. Okay, DynamoDB, all of that we have. And then that you can expose it like in the Power BI as a notebook, however you want. So this is how it looks like. It will be having everything together: data source, ingestion, store, and expose. Okay, and now let us understand what is microfabric. Microsoft Fabric. Like it is an end to end. If you want to do data analysis, okay, unified data analysis and the storage device, everything will be done under one particular platform that is called as Microsoft Fabric. Okay, the experience delivered as a software as a service, that is a SaaS model. Okay, so, as I've told you earlier, you can see it is integrating data factory, data warehouse, data engineering, okay, real time analytics, Power BI, data activator, data science. Apart from this, there are much more things that we can do it in the Microsoft Fabric. Okay. And this is, we cannot do it in the Power BI desktop. We need a Power BI service, which you can take it for a 60 days of trial. After 60 days, they'll charge you. If you want, you have to take a licensed version for this. Okay. So Microsoft Fabric, the same thing I'm giving it as a representation, as a diagram. You can see data integration, data lake. Okay. Spark, PySpark. Actually, it supports like with the help of Python, you can do PySpark, data warehouse, real time analytics, data science, business intelligence, and governance. So governance is like they have added a very good feature. Like in Power BI service, we do had an option called as role level security. So that option was there already in the Power BI service. But in the Microsoft Fabric, they have given some enhanced security where you can protect your data lakes, one lake or whatever it is, and even you can protect your dashboards, reports, all of that. It's already there, but now they have given it for data lake and all. So it's a unified analytic fiber where you it will provide us an end-to-end support, like end-to-end analytics it performs. Okay, starting from the data lake to the business users, like till where we use, like business users are like, I'm going to represent the data in the form of dashboards, reports, all of that we can do it. So that is called as Microsoft Fabric. Okay, and this is powered by AI. So now, like Copilot has been integrated with even in the Power BI, it has been they have been collaborated with the Copilot, and it can able to generate automatically. You can able to generate the reports. So if I want to create a report, it takes me 1 hour. Depends upon the data. Again, I cannot assure like how much time it will take. So depending upon the data, it may take half an hour, it may take 15 minutes, or it may take 1 hour, 2 hour. So depending upon data, but nowadays with the AI integration, I can just create a report within 2 seconds. I can create a report. So they have been the fabric is been integrated with Azure Open AI service. So that will allow us to use generative AIs. So generative AI is I can create my dashboards, reports, images that is related to my reports, all of that we are able to create it. And with the help of Copilot, I can use even a Copilot service also. I can able to do it, which I can create data flows, pipelines where I can write my own codes. Okay, you can write. So the thing is, whenever we use AI, you should have a basic knowledge about it. Only then you can use it. Just simply, if you are going to use, we may end up in wrong results also. So you should have basic knowledge before using any of the services that is powered by AI. And even as I've told you earlier, you can build a deep learning models, machine learning models, and that you can present that models output as a result. Okay, so even whatever you are using in the AI, if you are not able to present it to a decision makers or a business maker, business deciding persons, if you don't give it to them in a proper way, then whatever the AI has found the insights, it becomes useless. So whatever the AI has given us, we should be able to fine tune that, and we should be able to present it before the business deciders, so that it will improvise their business also. So for example, show me the top customer sales over a past 24 months. If I just ask to that AI, it will just analyze my report and tell you this is your customer sales, product sales, whatever it is, it will tell us. So let's go to what I have already have an account in the Power BI. I'll just show you. Just give me 1 minute. Just give me 1 minute. I'll just open that. Okay. Okay, guys. So, okay, let me start this. Okay. So this is how a Power BI service looks like. Okay, I've taken a 60 days of trial. So here I have basically created a workspace. Okay, so here I have a workspace and I have created a fabric underscore TT. And you can also see like in this Power BI. Okay, so once you get into this Power BI, okay, you will have something called as one lake. Okay, you can just see that one lake over here. Okay, I'll show you step by step. So in this Power BI, okay, so here once you click on this Power BI, you will have something called as, you have to start like this. Click on Power BI, and to go to the fabric, you have to click on this. If you right click the Power BI in your left side and click on the fabric, so this is how your fabric looks like. Okay, Microsoft Fabric. So you can create a new workspace, have a data analytics using SQL, Lambda, all of these you can do it. Okay, so my workspace which I have created recently is this one. So I'll just click on to this Microsoft Fabric workspace. So this is how my workspace looks like. Okay, in this I'm going to click on one lake. Okay, one lake catalog. Okay, you're going to just click on this one lake catalog, and here you will be having a many items displayed over here. Data is there. Okay, it is already there. So you have something called as tables, visuals. Again, I have something called as tables, and warehouse is there. So using SQL, lake house, all of these are there. Okay, so now I'm going to click on the tables. If you click on the table, there is something called as this. Okay, I can open this. Once I open this table, okay, you can see this one. Okay, this is how your table looks like. I have loaded a different files. Okay, so public holidays, I have loaded one file called as public holidays, which has country, holiday name, normalized holiday. This is one table. And apart from this, if you see, there are many data sets also I have been loaded in this one. Okay, I'll show that later. Okay, in the later part I'll show you. So this is how it looks like. Okay, this is the tables where you can put out all your structured data, unstructured data, all of that. And again, I'm going to have a notebook. Okay, this I have already created, and now I'm going to open that notebook also. Okay, so once you open a notebook, it will open you in a new different page where you can write your PySpark code. Already I have written for a demo purpose. I have just written it and kept it. So you can see here, I'm writing. You can even write your Python code here. If you want to do data analytics in very advanced level, you can use this one. Okay, so from PySpark.sql.functions import count, and I'm going to count how many countries are there, what are the total holidays. I'm going to use group by aggregate function, and show function is just to display those names. So here you have Sweden, Germany, France, Argentina, all of these, and total holidays. Okay, so this is the use of notebook. If you want to write a Python code also, you can write a Python code over here. So this is how your table looks like. Sorry, notebook looks like, and this is the table. Okay, it looks like. And we have you can take this holiday data. Okay, this is the holiday data that I can connect it to my microfabric device, and then I'm going to create a report. This report I have not created, AI has been created. Okay, so this is a demo of a particular AI generated report. So it will be generating this report by itself. So you can see count of a public holidays by a country wise, count of this based on the region, count date based on that particular region. You can just take out it. So you can see it different things. Okay, connected all of these. Okay, so in the whenever we click on this Microsoft Fabric, okay, so this all the data comes over here, files, all that images, whatever I kept. And notebook also you can see here, we have it here. And if you want to create any data flow also, you can see here. If you want to add anything from here, that also you can do it. So this is how a micro fabric, this is just a demo. Okay, I've already created because it has a lot of process to do it. I cannot do it in this particular webinar session. So that is why I've already done it and I'm showing you a demo. So this is a table integration. This is how we look, our notebooks look like. And this is a demo, like a visual demo. This is a AI generated one. So this I have not created with the help of table. All this has been created in one particular layer called as Microsoft Fabric. I have not used a Power BI desktop over here. I have just used the Microsoft Fabric to design all of these. And model also, you can just view your data modeling also. But here, as I have only one table, I cannot do a modeling over here. Okay. So this is just a demo of a Microsoft Fabric. So here I'm winding off this thing. If you have any doubts, you can let me know.